Hi, I'm Jenny Brown. I'm the proud principal here at Gold Rush Elementary School, and with me I am joined by,
I'm Ann Fitch. I'm the counselor at Gold Rush.
and we wanted to share with you some information that we were able to present at Back to School Night. As always, each and every year, we are striving to foster growth by challenging critical thinkers to take risks, honor differences, and care for others. And we have had an incredible start to the school year and wanted to share with you exactly what our mission looks like in our classrooms. We don't want this just to be a statement that hangs on the wall, but something that we live by. In terms of honoring differences, it's so important to us to have us know each and every child for their interests, their strengths, and also the areas of growth. And being in all of the classrooms, it's been really fun to see teachers assessing individual students, meeting with them one on one, and really getting to know them as learners and as students. It's also fun to see students picking books that are of high interest and writing stories that relate to their own lives and things that they are passionate about. We also want students to take risks here at Gold Rush. We know that that's an important part of life. We want them to feel confident trying new things. We see that in our specials areas in music, PE, art, and physical education. We see them all over trying new things and just taking those challenges. We also see that academically when students are working through really difficult math problems, and we've just been so proud of our students even in this short amount of time. We know this relates to our research on growth mindset. We know that working through mistakes is just a part of life, and really that our brain grows as we are working through mistakes. So, really getting students confident with making mistakes and, proud of how they have tackled new situations and challenges and how they've become stronger as a result. And finally, we want to create a caring community. As you can see in the middle, these are our students, our golden ticket winners, our students that really modeled what it looks like to give respect, own our actions, listen and learn, and do your best. We also have several clubs, such as our Young Rotarians Club, that is focused on service, and our student council is starting shortly, that is really working to make our community a stronger environment. And also, just being out at recess, I've had a chance to be at many recesses and seeing our students invite others to play and just enjoying that time together. That's really important for us here at Gold Rush. So we've had a great start. We wanted just to also share what our big goals for the year are. And Anne is going to talk about essential skills.
Our first goal that we wanted to highlight was our essential skills, or really how can we partner with our parents to help our kids grow and learn social emotionally as well. So, starting that off, we really kind of wanted to look at that brain development piece, especially in our youth, because we know that it's always growing. And, like Dr. Brown said previously, highlighting around those challenges around growth mindset and how working through those things really help make those neural pathways strengthen and making those connections in our brain so that children are able to go back and remember how they can tackle difficult solutions. And part of that is going to be giving them time to process. When their brain is growing, sometimes they're not able to think soundly and clearly in that prefrontal cortex we call, the front of our brain. And it really takes a little bit of that time. So, also creating a space at home for them to be able to reflect and process, whether it's a challenging time through some homework or friends issue or even something outside of school, helping them develop that time to say, ooh, let's look and reflect and help our brains grow by working through these hard challenges. Another amazing way that we always kind of highlight showing kids how to manage those feelings can be through modeling as well. How do you model? We all have those tough days. That's part of being human. So when we have those, how can we model that for kids to see, ooh, this is a great way to manage some of those feelings too. Or this is another option that helps when we're feeling overwhelmed or sad or mad or worried or frustrated. And then we also wanted to talk about how important encouragement is, and hearing those words, from our families and our teammates helps keep us going too. So, one of the things that we had here tonight at Back to School Night is some encourage grams in the lobby that you can write to your students if you so choose. We'll also leave them in the main office for the week if you swing in and you want to add something, a note of encouragement that we can just save for the kids to use on a day that maybe their teachers see, hey, they need a little extra note of encouragement and from their families. So we'll leave that in our main office if you're interested in filling one of those out.
Thanks so much, Anna. And essential skills are things that we work on throughout our lifetime. And these are things that, as Anne mentioned, are important to model for kids as well. So, Anne is an incredible resource and open to all students and families. So, thank you so much, Anne. Our second big goal for this year is to continue to perfect our craft in the area of reading. This year, we are using the Benchmark Reading Resource. It does strengthen what we have already had in place. What it does build on the same structure of workshop that we've implemented for the at least the last 11 years since I've been here. And the beauty of that workshop is that the bulk of our reading time is really focused on where your child is at as an individual. They'll be working on goals that your son or daughter really needs to work on, and also reading text that is appropriate to him or her. And so that focus on the individual and the time spent really reading and applying strategies is built into this new resource. So that is great. And also with our word study component, it will continue to be multisensory, meaning that kids aren't just memorizing different types of words. They're really tapping them out. They're writing them in the air. Really, all of those different strategies help our brain remember those word patterns. This is a great resource for us. It does provide us some additional text at all of the grade levels and different types of text that we might not have had in our classroom libraries before. It also gives us some different lessons that are aligned to the standards. And in our intermediate grades, it does provide some online assessments that are very similar to CMAS, much shorter, but it does give students the practice of taking more of that standardized assessment, which is a part of their academic experience. And finally, it also provides us with some great reading resources that align to our science units. So there's a lot of materials in there and a lot of things that will enhance our current practice. So we're excited to be working on those. I also just wanted to take a minute to talk about our safe environment. This isn't a formal goal in our Unified School Improvement Plan, but it's something that's just important to all of us as parents. It's something that's always on my mind as well. So I just wanted to share with you some of the practices that we've had in place over the years that you might not be aware of. We have an incredible partnership with our Parker PD and district security. Our Parker PD, we do have a resource officer that does come to Gold Rush and walks throughout our whole building and the perimeter of our building at least once a day. And he's incredible. Really, we have some proactive conversations, and he just has a great presence here at Gold Rush. So he is armed when he comes in, and he's just part of our school community. Our students know him. They say hi to him, and we're just really fortunate to have him be a part of, we consider him part of our staff. We also have all of our entryways and classrooms are locked. The only way families or visitors have access is through our main door. And we do have a camera system that when you buzz in, you may or may not know. We can see your smiling face. And if we don't recognize you, we will ask for you to share your name. Our front office staff is amazing and they know many of you from over the years, but if it is someone that is not familiar to us, we will ask. You'll also probably notice that in the past or this year, if it's your first time in the building and you're here to volunteer, we will ask you for your license, and that does go through our Raptor system, and that does link us to a database of sex offenders. So that is another way for us to screen who is in our building. We also, as in years past, do participate in mandatory drills like our lockdown and lockout training. We do that with our district security and Parker PD. And, it's just part of our being prepared. and knowing what to do in the event of an emergency. So those are routine for us. We also have a radio that links us directly to district security, and we don't need to rely on our phone system for that. And our district security team, if you're interested in learning more about them, they do bring great things to the school. They do have monthly collaboration meetings with all of the fire and police departments throughout Douglas County, and they do meet regularly to talk about new practices and things we can implement at the school level. So I feel incredibly grateful as both a principal and as a parent of a child here at Gold Rush to have so many incredible things in place for us, and really that partnership with both District Security and Parker PD. I'm happy to share more information about some of our systems that are in place if you are interested. I always like to give a couple of tips for things to work on at home. If you have had children at Gold Rush in years prior, this graph will not be unfamiliar to you. I promise I'm not recycling prior presentations, but this is a graph that represents research that has stood the test of time. And really, it talks about how important reading is to both student achievement and vocabulary development. And you can kind of see the more we read, the higher students perform, and the more they just accumulate vocabulary. It's incredible to be reading with my own child at home and just the amount of words we're able to talk through. It doesn't always have to be your child reading. You can read to them. Your child can read a page, and you can also then read one and just interacting with that text. So even you can see just that 5 minutes at home makes a huge difference. So we really appreciate that becoming part of your home routine as well. And also math facts. I think that's a partnership for sure. Some things, just making sure that our students have math fact fluency, whether that's addition and subtraction in primary or multiplication and division with our older students. We just notice that when students aren't very quick or fluent with their math facts, being able to move on to those more complex computational problems just become more challenging. So just getting in the habit of also spending even just a few minutes really going over those facts. And I'm sure your teachers will talk more about that in their sessions and over the course of the school year. I just wanted to share with you some great celebrations of the work that we've done here. We measure our success in so many different ways. Kids taking on new challenges, trying new things, them developing new friendships. Those are all ways that we measure our success. But we also measure that in terms of our student achievement data. That's important to us, obviously being a school. So wanted to share with you our CMAS data from last spring. As you can see, our third, fourth, and fifth graders, both in ELA and in math and science, outperformed the district. So that is a huge celebration to us. And we've noticed that not only in our average students' raw score, but also in our percentage of students meeting and exceeding state expectations. So a great celebration for us. And just when we take a look at the average Gold Rush student based on our most recent data, we know that the average Gold Rush student has outperformed students in the 11 other neighborhood schools in Parker. Those are third graders, fourth graders, and fifth graders, both in ELA and in math. And our students the average Gold Rush student has also performed better than students at 5 of the 7 charter schools. Again, in third, fourth, and fifth grade, and both in ELA and in math. So we're really proud of that. Continuing to look for ways that we can always meet students' needs, but really just proud of how our students are performing academically and for how they're developing socially and emotionally. Thank you so much for listening to where we're hoping to go this year and our celebrations. As always, we encourage you to reach out and get involved. You are part of our team, and we're always here to support you. I did want to share my email information. There are many Jenny Browns within the district. I am tied to my email, so if for some reason you do not hear back from me, it is most likely that your email went to another Jenny Brown. So here is my correct email. information. And as always, if you don't get a response, please call the school office, because we want to make sure that we are supporting you and your family. Thank you so much for sharing your children with us here at Gold Rush. It is a true honor, and we're looking forward to an incredible year. Thank you for your partnership.